Hey everybody, since we're in the beginning of the new year, 2014, I thought of talking a little bit about the situation in which our planet is today. One thing that is sure is that our systems need to change. Our systems have broken down. Either we're talking about the political, the economical, the environmental, health, or whatever system you want to pick out. Of all of them, most of them are broken today. Most of them don't really work. The only thing that is sure is that the systems have to change, and in order for all the outer systems to change, we need a revolution. But this revolution I'm talking about is not about getting out in the streets and breaking stuff or whatever. The revolution I'm talking about is an inner revolution, because the outer world today is just a reflection of our inner world. And if we don't begin on fixing our own selves, if we don't begin on fixing our own inner world, then we do not have any chances at all to fix our outer world. Therefore, we have to first work on individual change, and after that create awareness to understand who we are in relationship with each other. And I know what a lot of you will think, that one person cannot change the world, and that's kind of true, but guess what? One person out of 10 people can change the world. Why? Because science shows us that if 10% of a society stays deeply committed in an idea, after a certain point of time, the majority of the society will accept this idea. So maybe one person out of 7 billion cannot change the world, but one person out of 10 in a society can begin making a change. We are social organisms. Research in social contagion shows that when people do stuff in groups, they are better at it. So people lose weight more efficiently in groups, people can cut smoking more efficiently in groups, people can get fatter in groups, and people can stay positive, can stay more positive in groups. Now, the great thing about living in our time is that we are all very connected. It is really easy to create small groups. And I know what another part of people listening to this video will say. They will say that the situation where I live is perfect and I do not have problems and I earn money and we don't have problems with finding work and stuff like that. But the truth is, as I told you, that we live in a too small world nowadays in order for problems not to affect us. Maybe the problems are not affecting you right now, but there will be a point when the problems will come to your door and knock on it, because you simply cannot have a small group of people living a perfect life while next to them other people are having a really bad life, while people next to them are suffering. So even if you build huge walls around you, whatever you do, even if you have huge armies, at some point these two opposing worlds will collide, and that will only lead to violence, pain and suffering. Maybe all the old egoistic survival strategies worked until now, and maybe the competitive model we used in the last 80 years helped a lot in developing our civilization. But the reality is that these approaches do not work anymore, and the reason they do not work is because our planet has become too small. We have grown too much. We live in a too dense populated world in order to continue using these strategies. So once we fix our inner world, then we have to realize that what we are is a big organism, a big consciousness living in a rock that is spinning on space. Because that is the role of the human species on Earth. We are the intelligence of this Earth. So therefore we must create a collective mindset in order to have an intelligence that can be effective and can be healthy for this planet. In order for this to happen, we have to realize that helping each other is a lot more effective than fighting each other. Once we see this economics of cooperation, once we see that this is beneficial for everyone, only then can we move on forward. So let's also try to get rid of all the old philosophies that do not help us anymore. Let's get rid of all the old dogmas that are only creating problems in our world. Let's create new ideas. Let's create new approaches to facing our problems, and let's do anything we can do in order to contribute to the homeostasis of this global organism we are, instead of contributing to its disruption. Change is no longer a question. Change is coming. The only true question is towards which direction are you willing to push this change? Towards a more positive or towards a more negative? Like this video if you like this video, and until next time, keep on creating positive changes.